Happy Saturday morning, everyone. I thought I would do a little quick tutorial to help you along with your perspective drawing. This is the picture that we have, I took that I uploaded to Blackboard. This is just to maybe get you to think about some different things. Everybody's already doing so well. But I want to show you that in this picture, if you look down at the other end of the gallery, that's exactly where we're standing, but the opposite side. The vanishing point is pretty much right in the middle of that. So all of the lines that you draw that show the perspective convergence from the bottom and the top, you see the top lines don't start all the way out to the outside edge. The top lines, because of what we can see of the ceiling, they come in just a little bit because the columns break that line. You see this column out here on this side, that I'm going to drop it all the way down to my sort of that construction line there, only to show you that this part of the column sticks out a little bit, and these lines that come up, they all go back to the vanishing point as well. This point right here, I can draw that all the way back to the vanishing point as well. And that's how we get the interesting parts of the architecture that sort of seem to stick out into the room. If I follow, I'm going to erase just a little bit over on this side over here. If I follow this inside line right here straight back to my vanishing point, you can see that this part of the column, this part of the block, it actually sticks out in space. And then that point that sticks out goes back to my vanishing point as well. And if I draw the top of the column, or actually, rather the sides of it, and draw those back to my vanishing point, you can see that I have now made this column that looks like it sticks out in space. So now, when I go back to erase the bits, which you'll do with your eraser, erase the bits that get hidden, by my column. Now I'm showing how the architecture gets to stick out into the space. And so it doesn't look like the faces of your columns are being kind of cut off by your, construction line that goes forward. Also, one other thing I'd like to mention, because I think everybody, has a really pretty good start. If the perspective, or your vanishing point and your horizon line, of course, your horizon line is going to be, right here that goes through that vanishing point. The bottom and the top, you get to see roughly the same amount of. And if you're drawing these bricks in, or the pieces of the floor, all of those, you can see them. If you look right at this photo, they follow right back to that vanishing point. Some of my lines are straight, some of them are not. So all of those fall, they go back to the vanishing point. And so I've got my lines that go straight across and my lines that converge. And if you look really closely at these little square bricks, all of them follow that same line as they go toward the vanishing point. They look like they're more straight. Actually, they do if they go straight back in the middle of your drawing. Sometimes you hear me stop talking. Sometimes when I'm drawing, I get in the zone, and then I stop talking. So then if I'm drawing these across, you can see that it looks like all of those grids, all of those things. I'm working on the ceiling a little bit now. All of these things seem to follow what that vanishing point and perspective looks like. You can see how the curve of this window, how I'm drawing the curve of that window, I get to see more of the inside of the sill. I'm going to redraw because I want to erase that, because I want to show you that a little bit better. I'm going to take a little bit more time when I draw that. So if I draw this in, and I'm going nice and slow, and you see on this closest to me side, I don't get to see the rounding of the curve. I'm going to shade it in just for you. Now, you wouldn't normally do this. You see how much I see of that inside part? That's because we're looking at it, and our eyes can't view the stuff that's, facing the other direction. So think about that as you go. Also think about, look, if I'm trying to recreate this image, look at this shape of sunlight right here. I'm shading in the sunlight, not the shadow. But that, you get a little bit of sunlight there. Can you see how you get a little bit of sun here and a little bit of sun over on this side? You don't have to use the same direction of light or the same time of day, I guess. Once you draw it in, that's all completely up to you. But if you think about where the sun is, you'll see where your shadows and highlights go, and that makes for an even more realistic drawing. Keep drawing, guys. I have the rest of your drawings to send to you, and you'll get those this morning as well. This morning, years from now, is going to be completely meaningless, but those who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. Okay, go forth and draw.